Hey, Chris here, and today we're going to be talking about business growth strategies. And today I want to talk about one company in particular is Chipotle. We're going to talk about how they grew their company so fast. So, three different ways that helped them grow. So, we've all seen them. We drove around, we are looking for something to eat, and most likely, depending on where you live in the country, you're going to see a Chipotle, right? So, first, what they did was they made everything simplified. So, right, everything simple. For example, the menu. So, you go to a similar restaurant that offers similar food, you might see that food, but you'll probably see 30, 40 different items that you could choose from. And that's great. We all enjoy a lot of options, but when it comes down to it, you got to think about what are the challenges that come with having a lot of options. So if you have 30 items on the menu, that's 30 more items that employees have to remember. That's 30 more items to fix when it comes time to build people's meal, right? So there's a lot of effort and a lot of things you have to remember when it comes to that menu. So they simplified that menu to make it easy for the employees. And not only does it make it easy for the employees, it makes it easy for the customers to choose. So when it comes to giving customers options, if you give them 6, 7 options, some people would just avoid it altogether. If you give them 3 options, then it's easy to pick where they want to spend their money. So simplified. And what this did was it helped them scale the business a little bit faster than normal because all the processes is a lot easier. Training employees can be easier as well. And the customer has a better experience. Maybe they might order more items because they are able to choose what they want for their friends or family a lot easier. I know for me, when I go there, I pretty much get the same thing, and it's always easy to order whenever I tell a family member to order for me. Second thing is they focus on key areas, key cities, smaller urban areas, smaller towns, and college towns when they first started. So what this does is it helps them to kind of make sure what they are offering is sellable, right? So make sure people are able to buy what they're purchasing, buy what they're trying to sell. And that's with any business. You start a business, you don't want to go on full scale too early because you don't know if they're going to actually want to buy your product or service. So it's always good to test out what you're trying to sell in smaller markets. That's why people and companies, whenever they launch products, oftentimes they go ahead and launch it even though it's not 100% complete, it's not 100% ready, but they want to see what's the market going to do. What kind of issues are they going to come across? What type of challenges are they going to say that the company needs to work on? And that way they can improve as time goes on. So you see this in many different companies overall. And the third thing is they were designed for speed, right? So early on, if you think about the simplified menu, if you think about the assembly line format, how everything moves pretty much quickly when you get there, you think about that, it's pretty much designed for speed and scale. So when it comes to scale, one of the challenges that many businesses face is they have too much customization going on, right? So let's say you have a consulting company and one client tells you they want 5, 6, 7, 8 different items. Another client says, well, we want 2 items. Another client says, we want these 4 items. And what happens is you're doing so many different services that it can get complex and it's harder to scale. And when that happens, what happens to the owner? What happens to the person that's doing that? Now they have to be the one that's always doing that because they're the only ones that know how to do that service specifically for that customer, that client. So whenever you think about scale and you see these bigger companies do that, a lot of times because they have a system and they have a process that they focus on and they follow every single time. Instead of huge customizations for 1 or 2 clients, that can throw you off big time. And then that prevents your company from being sellable, it prevents it from scaling. And you're always stuck doing those small tasks because you're doing so many times. So those are the different things that help Chipotle grow. Simplified menu, focused on certain areas first, and also in general, they were built from the beginning to speed and go faster when it comes to the marketplace. So consider that when it comes to maybe your business or the business that you're working in, is how can you simplify some of the processes? How can you test new products or services? And overall, how can you design the company, whether you're in the company or you work at a company, how can you design it to a situation where you can move a little bit faster? And again, that comes from making sure you have the processes in place, make sure you're able to focus on that one product or service that's going to take the company to the next level. All right, catch me again for other videos on how businesses grew.